so glad you could join me here today. Today, we're going to be doing a nice, very simple painting. I hope you guys could follow along. I will be producing some complicated paintings more down the line, but as of for now, very simple. You guys can follow along. Let me run the colors across the screen that you'll need to paint along with me while we're doing that. Let me tell you what I got done up here. They'll run in the same order I have them on my palette. I have a 16 by 20 inch canvas, pre-stretched, double primed, and I added a thin layer of liquid white. Makes it slick, wet, ready to go. I just got filming the last video that you probably already saw. So if you see brushes dirty or my palette a little dirty, that's why. I just got finished doing it, and I had an idea. I said I can't forget this idea. I have to get it on canvas. So I decided turn back on the camera and let's do it. So just going into a little phthalo blue, tap both sides and just do crisscross strokes. Nice, simple crisscross strokes. There. Let's bring it down all the way down here. Very lightly. Go across. Let's darken up our corners. I'm going to some more phthalo blue. Tap both sides of the bristles. There. Full of paint. Let's come up here and darken up our sky a bit. Just go up and down and remove any brush stroke. It'd be a bright sunny day. Now, let's go ahead, a little bit of titanium white and a little bit of midnight black. Load up both sides of your brush. I just want sort of like a shadow color for a cloud. Let's come up here. Let's add in a big old cloud. Just don't let your brush stop moving. There. Huge cloud. Just like so. Load it full of paint. There. Just block in some sort of shadow color. That's the main focal point of our painting. Everyone's gonna be drawn onto that. So let's add some white and start to think, where would the light hit and what form would it take? If you want to make it more simple on yourself, you can go ahead, grab a palette knife, make sure it's clean. If not, you'll be taking up dirty paint up there, and you could just scratch in sort of an outline where you want your little cloud highlights to go. This is kind of like sketching, if you want to think about it that way. It's a little cheat, just in case you guys don't want to play it risky. There. You see all those lines, and when you're painting, you'll be able to tell where they are, and kind of like tracing. Now, just come up here and just go in circles. Don't, how I say constantly, don't let your brush stop moving. Keep it working. keep it working for you. There. I just leave a little gap. Very little. Nothing major. Because if I leave a bigger gap, it's gonna look like it's a big stormy cloud. I just want it to have shadows at the bottom. But I just do the whole thing to make it easier. A little easier on me. Rather than going back and forth, shadow, highlight, shadow, highlight. Just do everything in one go. There. Let's go on the other side. There we go. There. Very lightly. Now let's go back into our white. Let's come up here. I'm pushing the paint into the fabric. There. Some titanium white. And just blocking it in. There. Oh, what a big cloud. Beat off the 2-inch brush. I have some napkins off to the side. Now, let's come up here and lightly, with the top corner of your brush, blend out a few little spots, wherever you think is necessary, really. Now, lift upwards. Now, as it's going, you should lift up. So if the clouds are going this way, lift up to your right side. And if the clouds are going the other way, lift to the left side. And always do kind of like a little circular motion. They're all fluffy and everything. Now, you'll see all those lines and going crazy. Just lightly, you can go across. And just like so, everything goes away. It comes back together. Now, let's go ahead. You know me. I don't live where the mountains are at, but I sure do love painting mountains. I don't know why. So let's mix up a brown color. Just right here on my palette. There. I'm gonna mix it up until it's really, really good. Shoot, what the heck? Let's go into a little bit of black. There. A little bit more mixing. There, I think that's fine. Lay it out as flat as you can get it. And cut yourself a little roll of paint. Just right there. Let's come up here. Let's decide. Maybe, yeah, right around here. Comes down here. I don't think this one would be a winter mountain, the ones with snow and everything. I think it's in the summertime. There. Scratch off the extra paint. All I'm doing is spreading and scratching that extra paint. See, if you're not confident painting mountains just yet, oops, drop my napkin here. If you're not so confident, let's say, because you're just learning. I know most of you probably already know how to paint one or whatever, but let's assume you don't, right? There's no shame in that. We all start somewhere. Let's assume you don't, and I'm just pulling the paint with the fan brush. It's the best thing I got right now. And every time you practice, you're doing a real painting. What do I mean with the real painting is like a painting that you're gonna do and frame up or put on your wall. But you wanna improve on your mountains. Good thing you should do is grab a clean canvas and you should paint the whole canvas blue. Like if you're painting a sky, and just fill up the whole canvas with mountains, practicing over and over and over, and then you can scratch off the paint and redo it until you're fully confident with the way your mountains are coming out. That's if you're not confident. But I know most of you probably know how to do a mountain already. Not trying to assume, but kind of assuming, you know? But there's nothing wrong if you don't. Just want to put that out. Cut a roll, some white paint with brown. That's too dark. I want some light. Let's come up here. Ooh. Ooh. Gorgeous. You decide where your highlights will go and shadows. But very light pressure. Very light. There. I don't want to do too much, but I'm already doing too much since this mountain would be in the distance. But with all that paint on, it's marbled, it's layered, it's nice. So I'm just gonna get a nice mid-tone here just for our shadows. Let's come up here and same thing, just pulling the opposite direction, just like so. There. Cut a roll of paint and gentle. Even though we're assuming, okay, I messed up. I realized I messed up. I put the highlights coming this way in the clouds, and in the mountains I'm putting the highlights the other way. That's no good. You want the opposite. But just cut it off. And there's nothing wrong with making a little mistake. So, let's come up here. Just some light color. There. Ever so gently. Sorry about that. I was having a little issues with my camera, but we resolved it. So, going back to our light color, just right here. Very so lightly. And pulling the other direction where the light's coming. Everyone makes little mistakes. Can't punish no one. It happens. There. Now, let's go ahead. I'm going to white, very little brown, very little. I want this to be like an extra little highlight. Let's come up here. Whew. Just ever so gently. Just giving everything another little highlight. Let it pop out a bit more. There. Now, let's get some dark color. And just pull it the opposite direction. There. I'm going to pull it going different directions. Just creating the angles. Just adding a couple shadows and creating that effect. Just mixing up some more color. Just create those different angles. There. You can go back, mess around with the light, the shadows, all that good stuff. Right now I'm just blocking in the basics. There. Let's come up here. There. Every little highlight needs its shadow. That's how it is for everything. I like this Bob Ross quote one time. And I know probably many of you know this quote. He says, in order to have some good times, you need to have some bad times. In other words, he also said you need dark to have light, which he's talking about how you need both things. You can't just have one good thing and nothing bad. Not that good thing would be normal and, nothing changes. I wanted this mountain to be fairly detailed, and I ended up covering with so much detail. But it's okay. We work with this. We love this. There. Shoot. Let's go ahead. Let's cut this off right there. But you gotta have some dark in order for your light to pop, and some light in order for your dark to pop. It's like in life. If you only have good times all your life, then you'll never appreciate what's been given to you. And if you only have bad times, you'll never know what the good times are and won't know how to react. So you gotta have a good balance of the two in order to appreciate everything that happens. There. Just like so. Now, let's go ahead, take my 2-inch brush into ivory black, a little bit of sap green. Let's go ahead. Let's decide there, and grass would grow going on to those mountains. But I'm following the angles. There. I'm not going against the angles. I want to go with them. There. Okay, don't be afraid to load up your brush and come back at it. And the rest in the inside. This is how important it is. You can literally just do crisscross, scrub it on. Doesn't matter. The rest really doesn't. All we care is those edges. Let me darken up some spots. Maybe here, here. If I have it too light, then there'll be no contrast with our highlights. Going back to what we were just talking about. Gotta have enough dark to appreciate those lights. Let's go into some cadmium yellow. A little bit of sap green. Very little. Tap your brush in that paint. And let's get those lights going. There, look at that. Tap, tap, tap. You can do this. It's a matter of wanting it at this point. There's so many videos on YouTube, so many things where you could learn from, so many classes in your local spots near you. You just have to investigate and have to want it. Truly want it. There. Just tapping a little. There. Now I want some darker looks. There. Just going into midnight black, little bit of sap green and cadmium yellow, just where some shadow would hit. Because remember, the light's coming this way. Start thinking of where the light would hit, where it wouldn't. Okay? Going back into our cadmium yellow. Shoot some sap green. Let's make it bright green. Tap that paint. Let's come up here. Oh yeah, that's nice. There we go. Just tap, tap, tap. Load up your brush, tap it both sides, and come back and fire that paint right into your canvas. There we go. I'm creating an angle like that. So that's why I stopped there. Just to kind of be able to guide myself a bit. But just like so. Just tap it. There. Let's go into our dark color, our shadow grassy color, and just decide. I like to get in between just to kind of do like a gradient there. And let's pick out a couple little extra highlight spots there. Okay, now let's go ahead. Let's get some black. I'm gonna make more of that brown color. Black, green, red. To be exact, alizarin crimson, sap green, and midnight black. There we go. There. Lay your paint flat and just cut a roll. Let's come up here. First, let's add in a couple trees. Maybe one there, one there. Now, let's go ahead into midnight black and sap green. Just a mixture of the both. There. Let's come up here and just tap on a few little leaves that live on this tree. There. Just bring it down all the way. That's a big old tree. A little bit more of that same color. Same thing. It needs a friend. As Bob Ross would say, it needs a friend. Just tap. There. I really like hearing from you guys. So if you guys want to send me a picture of your painting or just chat a bit, as long as it's professional and nothing weird, then you guys can send me an email. My email's up on YouTube. It's in the community. Oh god, I forgot. Community post or something like that. You guys can see my email, and you guys can feel free and just send me an email. Let's add a couple of tree trunks here and there. I created that email so I can help you guys out if you guys are struggling with something, or if you just want me to review your painting, any good stuff like that. Some titanium white, cadmium yellow. Let's come up here. Let's just lightly. Let's go back at it, right around here. There. Okay. Now, let's come up here. Let's highlight the other tree. There. Ever so gently. Now, let's go ahead. Let's get crazy. Let's go with the 2-inch brush. Pull it one direction. The curved side would be facing up. And just tap in a couple little bushes. Okay? Maybe, just maybe, let's add in a nice little path. Just something small. Now, let's go with that same 2-inch brush into cadmium yellow. And let's come up here and just lightly work in layers. Think of every bush individually. Let's add in some highlights to our little path before we cover it up, because it'll be 10 times harder if we try to do our bushes then come back. So let's go back there, just like so. Now let's go into a little bit of alizarin crimson. I finished that. Let's go ahead. Let's grab a little bit of sap green. Pull it one direction, same thing. Ooh, that's nice. A little change will help us. There. Let me clean off my knife. Okay. Scratch off a few little sticks, twigs. There. Now, last thing. Let's put in what looks to be the side of a cabin / house, whatever you guys want to call it. Okay, let's come up here. Let's just cut out or scratched off the excess paint and just block in that dark paint. There. There. We're just looking at the side. We're not looking at the front nor the back. We're just looking at the front, on the side of the cabin. There. Let me just make sure it's straight. Last thing you want is a crooked cabin. Now, let's go ahead with our highlight color. Lightly just decide where, and very lightly. Very, very lightly. Takes no pressure. Okay, a little bit more shadows. Little bit. Let's come up here and just let it blend off with that base color. Okay. There. I'm just trying to strain this out, make this look more shaped, because I took a step back, realized didn't look the way I wanted it to. There, ever so lightly. There we go. That's better. Now, last thing this time, let's go ahead, let's add in a fence. Just to cover up here. there. And then just tap, light, highlight. There we go. Ever so lightly. And with that, that concludes today's painting. I really hope you enjoyed this painting and try this painting out. It's very simple, just like the last video, simple painting. And I hope you try this painting out, and I hope you have success while painting. I really wish each and every one of you the best of luck, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, take care, my friend. Goodbye.